What I discovered, ladies and gentlemen, in traveling around the world is there wasn't a single country that I visited and that I discuss in this book. There wasn't a single one of them that I visited that people weren't trying to come to the United States. And you know why they were trying to come to the United States? Because they recognized what many Americans do not recognize, and that is that America is a land of opportunity.
You know, I've spent my career taking on some of the cultural baddies, some of the most prominent intellectuals in the world, some of them in public debate, some of them behind the scenes. And I've come to realize that ideas define everything that we do. With an academic degree, you're trained to be a researcher and writer to the point that it's annoying. But I'm grateful for it. I'm not talking about books I've not read. I'm not talking about papers I've not read. Whether I agree with them or not actually isn't the point. There are quite a few books that I would read that I would say are actually evil books. Donald Trump, when he was in a divorce with his first wife, she said he has a copy of Mein Kampf next to his bed. I wish more people did. If the German people had bothered to read that book rather than just have it on their shelf, we might have avoided the Holocaust. If more people read the Quran, they'd be wiser to what Islam actually is, what they actually believe. If people bothered to read, as I have, the writings of Klaus Schwab and the various contributors to the World Economic Forum and the ideas that are driving the globalists, I read them because I want to understand their mentality. I cut out the middleman. I go straight to the ideology. Everything in your life is being defined by either your ideas or the ideas of the people around you. And each episode, we're going to be digging into a different idea that appears in the culture. This is Ideas Have Consequences with me, Larry Alex Taunton.
It is July 4th, the great American holiday, and I hope you're going to get out and enjoy it. You're going to grill burgers, get out on the lake, shoot your fireworks, have a great time, celebrate this great nation. And I want to emphasize that in spite of the many things that are going on in the United States right now, America is the greatest nation on earth. And it's why we do this podcast, because we want to preserve it as the greatest nation on earth. I have had the opportunity to travel all over the world. I traveled to more than 60 countries. And I wrote a book published a few years ago, called Around the World in More Than 80 Days. Now, just so you don't think this is an infomercial about this book, I am referring to it because I want to emphasize what I discovered in my research. In writing this book, what I decided to do was I said, hey, Alexis de Tocqueville, the great 19th century French political philosopher, he came to the United States and searched out America's greatness. What's the source of America's greatness? He was actually here to do work on the prison system, but that's another thing. And the result of that was a very famous work called Democracy in America. People like me still consult it. It's still very influential. And I thought, what would be interesting is to do a reverse de Tocqueville. Instead of coming to the United States to search out America's greatness, let's go to the world. Let's go around the world, as I did literally in 80 days, and then I did it a couple of more times, circumnavigated the globe 3 times. Went to, just in the writing of this book, roughly 34 countries, and I think we only included 27 of them in this book. But the idea was, let's go around the world to see what the world thinks about the United States, to see what the perceptions are of the United States, and to see what the comparative differences are between America and the rest of the world.
It's important to have a Christian worldview. The question becomes, how do we build that? How do we develop that? Oftentimes we have Bible teachers who are very faithful in teaching Scripture, but don't ever quite make the connection with the outside world. Other times we have Bible teachers who don't really want to touch certain topics because they're just seen to be too toxic. At tomap.com, you are going to find a wide range of issues being addressed to help you build out that Christian worldview. They're on things from suffering, dealing with mental health, to racial reconciliation. These are all issues that you will find at tomap.com, and they'll help you to build out a Christian worldview and to flourish. I hope you learn a lot from the podcast, but you can go beyond the podcast to the courses that we offer at Tome. So I hope you'll take a look at them and sign up. To get access to more than 100 Tome courses, use the code IDEAS. And for $8.25 a month, you can get access to all kinds of courses on a wide variety of subjects. Individuals with expertise, with experience in subjects that will be meaningful to you. So use the code IDEAS, and for $8.25 a month, you can get access to all of them. Go to tomap.com. Back to the podcast.
And this is interesting because I was looking at, before this trip, I was looking at Condé Nast's Traveler, which is a website that you can use to get hotel recommendations and vacation spot ideas and this sort of thing. It's very typical of the genre. And each year they put out their ranking of the world's greatest countries. And here's their list of the top 10. Norway, Australia, and Switzerland in a tie. Germany, Denmark, and Singapore in a tie. The Netherlands, Ireland, Iceland, and Canada and the United States. So America just barely makes the top 10. And you go, oh, wow, we really need to get on the ball. What's wrong with us? Why aren't we number one? But then this is interesting. I began doing some research and drilling down into their ranking. And their ranking is based on the United Nations Development Programme's annual Human Development Index. Now, I read the report, and I soon discovered why Condé Nast likes it. And Condé Nast, by the way, is a media behemoth. They own Vanity Fair, GQ, Allure, Vogue, several others. I know why they like it. And it's precisely the kind of data and social agenda-laden nonsense that the left likes. In other words, they didn't base it on a simple interview of people that said, hey, do you like this? What's your favorite country in the world? Do you like this? No, they didn't do that. They based it all on leftist ideology. When you do a word search of that particular document, the word gay appears 34 times, transgender 30 times, bisexual 29 times, lesbian 27 times, LGBTI, they don't put the Q in, 8 times. You know how many times Christianity appeared in the document? Not at all. The world's largest religion isn't even mentioned. The point is, when you see those rankings are driven by leftist ideology. It's not just based on a simple conversation or survey of people, as, say, Gallup might do. What I discovered, ladies and gentlemen, in traveling around the world is there wasn't a single country that I visited and that I discuss in this book. There wasn't a single one of them that I visited that people weren't trying to come to the United States. And you know why they were trying to come to the United States? Because they recognized what many Americans do not recognize, and that is that America is a land of opportunity. They saw it as a place of human flourishing, that they had a chance here. Now, those perceptions are changing with all of our gay riots and rallies and, child drag shows and the kind of nonsense that we discussed that was going on at the White House a couple of podcasts ago. That perception is changing. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest country in the world, and it's worth fighting for. It's worth fighting for. But don't fight for it this weekend. Instead, get out, enjoy your families, enjoy the national parks, enjoy our beautiful lakes, enjoy our beautiful beaches, enjoy your fireworks, enjoy flipping burgers, enjoy a great war movie. July 4th, it just isn't complete without a good war movie, one where Americans win. Don't watch Soul Survivor. That one will depress you. But watch a good war movie and celebrate this wonderful country, because it is a country that I love. It is a country that many non-Americans love and who want the opportunities that you have right in front of you. Enjoy your July the 4th.